Hello, everybody. Is everybody ready to count down? We're going to start from 5. We want to say thanks, first of all, to Tom and Rita. We hope they're ready. We hope everybody watching at home is getting in the Christmas spirit. We're going to start counting down right now. Let's do it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey!
I'd love to see you too. Are we ready to read?
I'm ready.
All right, you ready for the story? Yes. 'Twas the night before Christmas when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse.
The stockings were hung by the chimney with care in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there.
The children were nestled all snug in their beds while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled down for a long winter's nap.
When out on the lawn there rose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter.
Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave a luster of midday to objects below.
When what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeers.
With a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be Saint Nick.
More rapid than eagles his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen.
To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As dry leaves before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky.
So up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with sleigh full of toys and St. Nicholas too.
And then in a twinkling, I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound.
He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and all his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot.
A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry.
His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow.
The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke, it encircled his head like a wreath.
He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right old jolly elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself.
A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread.
He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk. And laying his finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose.
He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle.
But I heard him exclaim as he drove out of sight, Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
Good job. Is that okay? Okay. Good job. Come on, we're gonna leave.
Merry Christmas, everybody. We saw this party going on out back, and we thought we'd join you. I want to thank Secretary Jewell for not only the introduction, but for all that you and everybody who's part of the Interior Department and the Park Service do to protect the magnificent outdoors for our children and for future generations. And I want to thank Jonathan Jarvis, Dan Wink, and everybody at the National Park Service and the National Park Foundation for putting on this special event each and every holiday season. I want everybody to give it up for our charming Christmas host tonight, Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson. We have so enjoyed the incredible performers, including the one and only Patti LaBelle. And finally, thanks to all of you who are here and watching at home for joining us to celebrate this wonderful holiday tradition. You know, back in 1923, school kids here in Washington wrote a letter to the White House asking if they could put a Christmas tree on the South Lawn. And more than 90 years and a few different evergreens later, the National Christmas Tree still stands as a symbol of hope and holiday spirit, and we still gather as a country each year to light it. We still have school kids involved too, but this year they've given all the state and territory trees surrounding the National Christmas Tree their first digital upgrade. Young women from all 50 states use their computers, using their coding skills, to control the colors and patterns of the lights on these trees. So thanks to those wonderful students, it is incredibly impressive. It's actually one of the few things that Tom Hanks cannot do. But while lighting the tree has entered into the 21st century, the story that we remember this season dates back more than 2,000 years. It's the story of hope, the birth of a singular child into the simplest of circumstances, a child who would grow up to live a life of humility and kindness and compassion, who traveled with a message of empathy and understanding, who taught us to care for the poor and the marginalized and those who are different from ourselves. And more than 2 millennia later, the way he lived still compels us to do our best to build a more just and tolerant and decent world. It's a story dear to my family as Christians, but its meaning is one embraced by all peoples across our country and around the world, regardless of how they pray or whether they pray at all. And that's to love our neighbors as ourselves, to be one another's keepers, to have faith in one another, and in something better around the bend, not just at Christmas time, but all the time. And finally, this Christmas, we count our blessings and we give thanks to the men and women of our military who help make those blessings possible. And as we hold our loved ones tight, let's remember the military families whose loved ones are far from home. They are our heroes, and they deserve our heartfelt gratitude and our wholehearted support. So on behalf of Michelle, Malia, Sasha, Mom-in-law, and our reindeer, Bo and Sonny, I want to wish all of them, and I want to wish all of you, a very, very Merry Christmas and a holiday filled with joy. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.